In lesson 1, we'll review a simple work breakdown structure. All right, so let's take a look at the work breakdown structure and just overview it a little bit. So the first question to ask is, what is a work breakdown structure? So it's basically a hierarchical representation of the work scope of a specific AX project. Each descending level of the WS basically represents an increasingly detailed definition of the project work. To simplify complex projects, it's important to structure the work and break it down into smaller activities. The breakdown of work into activities helps track the progress of the project according to the schedule that you define. It also helps monitor the costs and revenue that is generated from the project. So as you can see below, this is what it looks like, or what a work breakdown structure looks like inside of Dynamics AX today. What you're doing is defining different tasks and laying out the timeline and effort involved to create those tasks. And there's a lot of other bells and whistles that we'll talk about shortly. So I know that we are going to be talking about a simple work breakdown structure, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what is a simple WBS? And the definition for this lesson will be that it's just a work breakdown structure that doesn't have multiple levels or multiple tiers deep. It's just a flat WBS. That's how I want you to think when you think of a simple WBS. So what can you do with a work breakdown structure in Dynamics AX? So let's just talk towards the slide a little bit. So first of all, when you open the work breakdown structure form, you're going to be able to go in and define different tasks. And tasks are interchangeable with the term activities as well, because when you create a task, it creates an activity. But you can create a task, you can define that task name, and then you basically can go in and also define how much effort is involved in that specific task, and then the dates, the start and end date for how long that task is going to run. AX will actually try and project the start and end date based on a calendar setup that we'll talk about in a subsequent lesson here. And the other thing that you can do is say how many resources you're going to need to complete that specific task. So the first thing that AX is going to do when you get into WS, or is used for when you get into WS, is lay out your project plan. Then you can also define what role and what specific resource is going to work on that specific task. And that can be one or multiple resources. And it will give you information whether it's staffed or not staffed or partially staffed, etc. So then the final thing that the WBS can do for you is it can track the estimated costs and revenue associated with each task as well. So if you look at task 1.1, that's project management. It's got 480 hours of effort involved. If we looked at that estimated costs and revenue tab, it would basically show you, all right, for that 480 hours, it would define the cost and sales price that you have set up for project management work and say, this is how much cost and revenue that we're expecting for that task to be completed. And if you wanted to add other sources for the estimated costs and revenue based on the different transaction types in AX, you could do so. All right, so why is work breakdown structure important? Well, I mean, we kind of talked towards that already, but it's basically the way to lay out your project plan and who's doing what and tracking all the different costs and effort versus the actuals inside of Dynamics AX. So the way that I look at the work breakdown structure is it's your project manager's workstation where they can track a specific project and make sure things are going according to the plan.